Hi everyone, welcome to this week's live stream GuitarQuest lesson. This week we'll be continuing with GuitarQuest 4 as we have been doing for the last few weeks. We'll be picking up where we left off even last time and hopefully introducing something new as well. Let's get started. So as always we are going to check our tuning to begin with. In light of tuning by ear, which we've been doing the last few weeks, we're going to continue that. So I just move around a little bit so you can see me better. Okay, so bottom E string, we're going to assume this is in tune. Just try and make sure that tunes up nicely. Your sound's the same. Okay, then to get the A, we're going to go 6th string 5th fret. Play that. That's the correct note. Then adjust your 5th string until it sounds the same. Then when you're happy, you go to the 5th string 5th fret. This is the note D. So you play that and compare that to your open 4th string. And again, the D on the 5th string should now be the correct one. So you adjust the open 4th string as needed. Then from there we go to the 4th string 5th fret. Play that, that's our G. So then we adjust the 3rd string until that sounds the same. Then this is the only one that's different, so we go to the 3rd string 4th fret for the B. So that's the correct note, and then we adjust the open 2nd string until it sounds the same. And then when we're happy with that, we would go to the 2nd string 5th fret, which is our note E, and we compare the 1st string to that note. And if our top E feels different, then we would just adjust that until it's correct. So I've sort of breezed through that. We have obviously talked about that in more detail in the past, mainly at the end of GuitarQuest 3, but over the last few weeks we've also tuned the guitar that way and taken a little bit more time with it. So yeah, just hopefully it's in tune anyway, and if you're unsure, feel free to ask. You've got the chat there, so yeah, just ask away on that, yeah, hopefully it's all good really. So, assuming we're in tune, we're just going to quickly strum a few chords, make sure it sounds good. So let's try G to begin with. Just check as you play it, does it sound in tune? Do any of the strings sound a little bit off? And if you notice one sounds a bit off, you can perhaps, rather than strumming quickly like that, do it a bit slower. And then you might hear one if it sounds a bit flat. For example, just turn the G down. And you're like, quite how you're expecting, so you just turn it back. Ooh, sorry, yeah, until we basically get back and we feel confident with it. And then just try a couple of others. So let's try an E minor. Again, just sort of make sure it sounds right. We can tune one chord by ear and we think we've got it spot on, and we try a different one and it's like, that's not quite as good as I thought it was actually. So you adjust it a little bit again. Perhaps try a D chord. We've been working on the F chord recently, so if you're feeling confident, try the F, no harm. Yeah, any other chords you can think of really that just serve the purpose of, I suppose, exposing our ears to the sound of the chord and us thinking, does it sound right? So it's listening is so important. So that's something that we want to be doing. So okay, cool. So that's that. Just a quick reminder. Remember not to let that guitar slide away. Keep it nice and upright if you can. And so we are going to work on. Our quavers and semiquavers idea. So the last few weeks we have started by playing 4 crotchets, 8 quavers and 16 semiquavers. So we're just going to do the same again today, just to try and make sure we are hearing that difference. So we'll just play an open E string if I demonstrate to begin with. So after 4, there'll be 4 crotchets. So I go 3, 4, and then just top E. I'm going to do 8 semiquavers, or quavers, sorry, and then 16 semiquavers. Okay, so that's the idea anyway. So let's try it together. So after 4, okay, so 3, 4. quavers, semi-quavers. Okay, and hopefully that was all okay. Remember, on the right hand, if you're right-handed, obviously, whatever hand you're using to pluck the strings with, we're going to be trying to alternate these index and middle fingers. That's going to give us the best kind of technique development that we can work on. It doesn't matter what style you're playing, it's still going to be the best technique for you to try and get used to. Okay, so let's try it on the D string. So it's our fourth string, exactly the same again. Here we go. Okay, so 3, 4. It's crotchets, quavers, semi-quavers. Cool. Okay, and you might find it's a little bit harder on the lower strings as we, you know, if we're playing those. It's just sort of one of those things. Just try to keep your hand in a steady kind of position. So if you think where your hand was when you played the first string, when you come to the fourth string or even the fifth, the hand should be relatively similar. So you don't necessarily want your hand like kind of bunching up or anything like that. It's not necessarily the end of the world, but I found in my own playing, it's like actually if you can keep everything kind of steady, then it gives you the best chance of playing well, basically. So cool. Okay, so let's move on, and we're going to kick off today with exercise 4. So we've been working on this for a few weeks now. It's proved to be a bit of a tricky one, I think. So we'll just get stuck into it. We talked about this in a lot more detail over the last, well, it's probably about 3 weeks ago now, I think, and we've played it the last few weeks as well. So we're just going to dive in. So remember, we're starting in the 4th position. We move up to the 5th position in bar 2, and then we come back to the 4th position when we get to bar 7. And we've got the repeat as well. So just give it your best shot. Hopefully it will go well. The other thing, just to remind you, we've got that at the pickup bar or the anacrusis bar. So when I count in, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then we start and 4 and. That's our counting, okay? So starting on the B, 3rd string, 4th fret, we'll just take it nice and slow, okay? So good luck everybody. After 3 this time, okay? So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3. Second line. Okay, cool. So that was done before. Obviously, we've played that several times before. So yeah, just watch some of the older videos if you found it difficult and go back over them. Obviously, if you've got any questions, do feel free to fire away now. But we are going to move on from that one, I think. Before we do though, give yourself a pat on the back if it did go well. That's always good to acknowledge that. Yeah, let's have a think about the F major 7 chord to begin with then. That's the next thing here. So second string first fret, 3rd string 2nd, 4th string 3rd, and we've got an open 1st string, and we just strum from the D string, so string 4, so we've got the F, A, C and E. So quite a common chord, so a good one to know. And then in theory, to get to F, we just flatten the first finger down across the 2 strings. Might have a little bit of readjustment to do with the other fingers, but it should mainly be that. As discussed over the previous couple of weeks though, it's not always that straightforward and does take a bit of practice and perseverance. So if you're getting something like this, you know, or, so I'm trying to think now, something like that anyway, where you've got some notes that aren't quite as clear as they could be, just try and sort of self-analyse like what's going on, and make sure these 2 fingers, your third and your second finger in particular, are up on their fingertips, and try and keep that first finger pushing down. And as you push that first finger down, trying to let these kind of come down with it, because that's what gives you that sort of sound, that muted sound, which we want to try and avoid. So yeah, nice and up on the fingertips. Like I say, just persevere with it, you will get it, but I do appreciate it is not a great chord for most people to begin with, so good luck with it. But we're going to turn the page now and go on to exercise 5, which is the accompaniment to the tune we were just playing. So this is the chord backing, so we're going to be playing an A minor. Hopefully you're pretty comfortable with A minor by now. Then F. When we get to that, just have to do as best you can with it, so don't worry if it sounds a bit iffy. You know, it's I think there's 2 schools of thought, I should say, with anything really, but I think particularly with chords. And one is to make sure you get the chords absolutely perfect, you know, and always practice having the perfect sound. The other is that, say you're playing a chord progression like this, that when you change into that F, that you get into the F, and even if it's a bit messy, you're still there and you're still playing and you're maintaining the rhythm. So I usually recommend that you do a bit of both. So you know, take the chance or take the time to make sure the chord's nice and really clear sounding. That could be your first run at it, and then the next one could be you know, don't worry if it sounds a bit iffy, but you know, you've maintained the timing, and you know, hopefully the 2 come together so that the timing remains good and the F chord gets better and better. And the same applies for any other chord really, but obviously F is the most difficult one, I would say, that we've learned so far. So yeah, sorry, so we've played A minor, then we're going to go to F, and then C, and then G, and you can play G with fingers 3 and 4, or just the third finger, whichever you want, no particular preference. So yeah, the strumming pattern then, we've got 2 bar patterns, so we're going to go in the first bar. It's like our old sort of reliable rhythm, the down, down, up, up, down, up. So we're just adding that extra up strum at the end compared to what we talked about in GuitarQuest 3. So that's the first bar, and then the second bar starts off the same, so down, down, up, nothing on beat 3, and then a down on beat 4. Okay, so if I just play just the example of the A minor, those 2 bars, okay? So we're going to go, this would be 3, 4, and down. Sorry, I missed the strings. Let's try that again. Okay, so 3, 4, and down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. Okay, so that's our pattern. Again, we talked about this in a little bit more detail in previous weeks, so please feel free to go back and watch those if you're not quite keeping up with it. But essentially, we then just change the chords, do the same pattern on the F for a couple of bars, then we change to C, do the same pattern on that, and then eventually onto the G. Then we've got the repeats, we go back round, same kind of thing again, and we just try and make sure we finish on that A minor with a single strum. So let's give it a go. So good luck everybody. After 4, here we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down to the F, down, up, down, down, up, down, and then C, down, up, down, down, up, down, and G, down, up, down, down, back to the beginning to the A minor. Then F. And then C. And then G. Cool, okay, so that's the backing to exercise 4. So hopefully you're okay with it. Depending on the style of playing that you might want to get into, chord playing could be really important to what you do, or it could not be really that important at all. So if you want to go more down the classical route, being able to strum chords like this isn't really that important in my opinion, because you won't ever do it. That said, if anybody knows you play the guitar, then next time you're out or around someone's house and there's a guitar there, they'll probably say, oh, you play guitar, why don't you play us something? So at which point, being able to play something people know is obviously a good thing as well. So, so yeah, I would encourage it no matter what style you want to play, just, you know, perhaps to a lesser degree if you're playing classical, but pretty much any other style, you definitely want to get good at your chords. So, okay. So that's that one. We're going to move on to number 6 then, Bamboo Forest. So again, we talked about this one last week. I would say note-wise is relatively straightforward. It's more to do with the technique on your right hand. We just want to try and keep our walking fingers pattern going as much as we can, really. So, so yeah, we're starting off in the 5th position. I'll sort of talk us through it a little bit as we go. So, I'll demonstrate, so start 2nd string 5th for the E, and then 3rd string 7th for the D, 2nd string 5th again for the E, and then up to the G at the 8th fret on the 2nd string. So, and then the semiquavers, we're going to go to the B, 1st string 7th fret, follow that by a few open E's, and then we come back to the B, and then an A. So that whole bar then, you've got, oops, sorry, wrong thing. So, okay, and then same again in the next bar. And as we come into the 3rd bar, we're back onto that G, down to the E again, and then the D. So all notes you've played already, just obviously different order. Then we'll do the repeat when we play it thoroughly, but for now we're just going to skip forward. So we're into the sort of the main semiquaver section here, and this is really just open strings or open E string and then a note somewhere on the 1st string. So the 1st bar there, which is bar 5, so it's E to B. Finishing with a B to A at the end there. Same again in the next bar. And then it's coming to bar 7, same kind of idea, but we go to A. And then back to the B. And then the last line is same as the 1st line. So, hopefully that makes sense. As I say, we went over it in a lot more detail last week, so I don't want to spend too long on it. I'd like to get on to the next page and 6/8 timing. We want to talk about that. So let's have a go at playing this together. So after 4, starting on that E, 2nd string 5th fret. Okay, good luck everybody, and here we go. Okay, so 3, 4. Second line. Back to again. 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the fast bit. Third line. So note A. Back to B. Last line. And then we finish up there. Okay, cool. So hopefully that was okay. Again, give yourself a pat on the back if it went well. Like I say, that one, obviously, it's a lot of practice around the notes in the 5th position, so that's good. There's a lot of benefit in that. And then we've also got that kind of walking fingers practice on the right hand. So lots of things to be thinking about there. So, okay, so let's move on. As I said, we want to talk about 6/8 timing. Assuming you're not familiar with this, just a quick recap that a lot of our music that we've played so far has been in 4/4, which means there's 4 crotchet beats in the bar. That's by far and away the most common time signature. Sometimes we get 3/4 or 2/4. You know, it can be lots of options really, I suppose. 3/4 is 3 crotchet beats in the bar. 2/4, 2 crotchet beats in the bar. When we come to 6/8, we have 6 quavers in the bar. So the 8, like the lower number there, is telling us we're thinking in terms of quavers, and 6 on the top is telling us that we've got 6 of them in the bar. The thing to watch out for with 6/8 timing, there's a couple of things really, but because we're thinking in terms of quavers, if you see a crotchet, that is now worth 2 of your count of 6 in your 6/8 bar. So for example, if I just bring the music up onto the screen for a second. So if you're looking at this here, that's crotchet, which you might think is worth 1 beat, but because we're in 6/8, actually it's worth 2 now. So it's 1, 2, and then another quaver is 3. Then we've got another crotchet, so that would be another 2 beats, so 4, 5, and then finally another quaver just to round that off, which is beat 6. And then if you notice here, we've got 6 quavers, and because we're in 6/8 timing, we're going to group them into bunches of 3. And that's kind of the thing about 6/8 timing. 6/8 timing can be described as compound timing. We'll talk about that in a minute. So we've got 2 groups of 3. And then over here, crotchet worth 2, then a quaver worth 1, so that makes up 3, and then 4, 5, 6. Same kind of thing over here, so 1, 2, 3, and then a dotted crotchet is worth 3 quavers, so that's your 4, 5, and 6. So yeah, that's kind of a sort of summary of 6/8 timing. Another way you can think about it is in 6/8 timing you've got 2 strong beats in the bar, and you're now dividing them into 3s. So you get this sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the kind of feel that we're after. And then lower down the page you've got that blue box about the difference between simple and compound time. So when we're talking simple time, like 4/4, our crotchets, like everything's divided in half. When we're talking compound time, because it's like a dotted crotchet that we're talking about, everything's divided into 3s. So that's kind of the difference really. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's have a go at playing. In fact, I'll just bring that music back up onto the screen. We're just going to have a go at playing that example line above exercise 7. So I just demonstrate first. So the counting is up to 6, so I'm going to count 4, 5, 6, and then we come in, okay? So we're going to go 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. so that's just so you clear, that's that line, that's what I was just playing there. So let's try it together. I'll just turn that off so you can see me playing it again. So we're on the G string, so the 3rd string. Again, just try and keep your fingers alternating as best you can. So after 6, we go a little bit slower. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so hopefully that kind of makes sense. It's not the most interesting exercise you'll ever play in the world, but it's good to kind of get a sense of the timing. So what we're going to do is move on to exercise 7, because obviously playing something that's a bit more tuneful usually helps to kind of focus the idea anyway. So, okay, I suspect we're not going to have time to get through all of this today, but we'll just have a start anyway. So first note, we're back in our normal playing position. So we're on an A. I should point out as well, apart from obviously being 6/8, we've got an F sharp to think about in the key signature. So try and remember, there are a few F sharps that crop up. So try and remember that's going to end up being 1st string 2nd fret and not 1st fret. Okay, so here we go. Starting on the A. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, then up to the top E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in that 2nd bar there, you could play a C to B. I've written it as a pull-off. You could just pluck the notes if you want, whatever feels right. You know, what we're working on is trying to get some timing and some feel of 6/8. So if adding hammer-ons and pull-offs and things like that increases the challenge to something you're not comfortable with, then just pluck the strings and try and get the timing right. So you can always add those in later. So okay, so let's play that bit again. So we've got the 2 A's. Then we come to the G's. Kind of starts repeating. And that bar there, bar 6, that's our 1st F sharp. And then the next couple of bars are a little bit more difficult, it's a bit sort of more consistent. So we're going F sharp to E, then to your D, 2nd string 3rd fret, open E, D to C. I haven't written that one, the D to C, as a pull off, but you could do that if you wanted to. And then in the last bar on the 2nd line there, we've got a D to C again, B, and then A. Okay, so if I just play that 2nd line, so you've got quite a sort of steady timing thing going on there. So okay, yeah, let's in fact let's do the last line as well. So on the last line, because we've got the dotted crotchet at the beginning, that's going to last for 3 beats. So we play the E, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then open E. Again, with all the pull-offs, as I mentioned, you could play them or just pluck the strings, whatever works best for you at this stage. So, in terms of the structure of the song, if I just bring the music up onto the screen, we play 1st line, 2nd line, then we've got the repeat, so we repeat those, then we come on to the 3rd line, we've got the repeat mark again, so we're going to play that twice, then our DCL Fine instruction kicks in, so we go back to beginning, that's the DC bit. So we go back to the start and we play until we see the word Fine, which is at the end of the 2nd line. Okay, so let me put the tune on so you can hear how it's going to sound, and yeah, we'll play through it together next week, I think, because we're sort of out of time. But hope you enjoy it. This is exercise 7, Sherry's Jig. Here we go. So that is Sherry's jig. So yeah, see how you get on with it. The backing track's quite fast, but you can obviously slow it down. So good luck with it. We'll play it through next week together. We'll go through it in more detail, a little bit slower, and that kind of thing. But I just wanted to make sure you had something new to get stuck into this week, really. So yeah, that's a good place for us to finish up, I think. So very best of luck with it. Just see the comment there saying that, wow, I love the tune. So that's cool, thank you very much. Hopefully you have fun playing it. Yeah, different kind of challenge to certainly to most of the other stuff we've played so far. So excellent. Okay, so good place to finish up. So things to practice then. I would suggest maybe we'll leave exercise 4 and 5 behind now. So maybe do exercise 6 as the warm-up next week. And then our focus will be more onto like 6/8 timing and exercise 7. Yeah, so I'd make that the main focus this week. So if you enjoyed the lesson, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you know anyone that you think might benefit from all these GuitarQuest lessons, you know, it might not be starting where we're at now. It might be right back at the beginning. That's absolutely cool. So but please do let people know. And yeah, I will see you next week, hopefully. So very best luck with the practice this week, and have a wonderful week. I will see you soon. Okay, take care then, everybody. Bye-bye.